Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Today we're diving into a topic that's super important, wills and living trusts. So grab a comfy seat, maybe a snack, I won't judge, and let's get started. Okay, first things first, what exactly are we talking about when we say will and living trust? These terms might sound a bit intimidating, but don't worry, we're here to break it down for you. Don't worry, I'm not going to bore you with legal jargon. Instead, let's keep it simple and straightforward. Basically, both of these documents help you decide what happens to your stuff after, well, you're gone. It's all about making sure your wishes are respected and your loved ones are taken care of. Think of your will as your last will and testament. It's a legal document where you specify who gets what. It's your chance to say, hey, when I'm gone, I want my favorite Elvis painting to go to my best friend Susan because she always admired it, and my collection of rubber chickens to go to science. Yes, even quirky items can be included in your will. A living trust, on the other hand, is like setting up a little system for your assets while you're still kicking. It's a way to manage your assets during your lifetime and beyond. You put your stuff in the trust, and you choose someone you trust, get it, to manage it for you, either now or later on. This can help avoid probate and make things easier for your loved ones. So stay tuned because in the next few chapters, we'll dive deeper into each of these options. We'll explore the pros and cons and help you decide which one might be right for you. All right, let's talk about wills. A will is like that note you leave on the fridge that says, "Don't forget to feed the goldfish," except it's way more official and covers all your important stuff. In your will, you get to decide who gets your house, your car, that vintage disco ball collection you've been working on, you name it. You're the boss. You also get to choose a guardian for your kids, which is super important. After you're gone, your will has to go through something called probate court. It's basically like the court system double-checking everything to make sure your wishes are followed. But hey, at least you'll have the peace of mind knowing your wishes are being followed, right? All right, are you ready to talk about living trusts? Now, remember, this is where things get a little fancier. Think of a living trust as a VIP lounge for your assets. It's a way to manage and protect your stuff, both while you're here and after you're gone. So how does it work? Let's break it down. Well, you create this trust and you put your assets into it. Your house, your car, your prize collection of Beanie Babies, no judgment here. You also choose someone to be the trustee, which is a big job. This person will have a lot of responsibilities. This person is responsible for managing the trust according to your wishes. You can even set it up so that you're the trustee while you're alive, and then someone else takes over when you're gone. And the best part? A living trust can help your loved ones avoid that whole probate court thing we talked about earlier. This means less stress and hassle for your family during a difficult time. Plus, it keeps your financial matters private, unlike a will which goes through public probate. So setting up a living trust can give you peace of mind, knowing everything is taken care of. It's a smart move to discuss with your financial advisor to see if it's right for you. Remember, it's all about making sure your assets are in the best hands, now and in the future. Okay, let's talk about probate court. Think of it like a necessary evil, kind of like going to the dentist. Remember how we talked about wills needing to go through probate? Well, that's because the court needs to make sure everything is on the up and up. They'll validate your will, pay off any debts you might have, and then distribute your assets according to your wishes. Now here's the thing, probate can be a bit of a process. It can take time, sometimes even years, and it can cost money in legal fees and court costs. But the good news is that a living trust can help you avoid probate altogether. Chapter 5. Wills versus trusts, the price is right. Okay, let's talk money, honey. Because let's face it, that's always a factor, right? Now, I'm not a financial advisor, but I can tell you that when it comes to wills and living trusts, there are some costs involved. Setting up a will is usually the less expensive option up front. You can even find DIY will kits online, but be careful with those. You want to make sure it's done right. A living trust, on the other hand, can be a bit pricier to set up initially because you'll probably want to work with an attorney to make sure everything is legal and binding. But a living trust can actually save you money in the long run. Avoiding probate with a living trust can save your loved ones thousands of dollars in legal fees and court costs. Chapter 6. Flexibility. Because life's a roller coaster. Let's face it, life is full of surprises. It's like that time I tried to make my own bread and ended up with a brick. Things change, and it's important to have plans that can change with you. That's where a living trust really shines. One of the biggest advantages of a living trust is its flexibility. You see, with a will, once it's done, it's done. You have to go through a whole legal process to make any changes. But with a living trust, you're the boss. You can make changes to your trust whenever you want, as long as you're of sound mind. It's all about staying in control and adapting to whatever life throws your way. Chapter 7. Which one's right for you? Let's find out. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground today, and you're probably thinking, Christine, my head is spinning. There are so many options and details to consider, it can feel overwhelming. Just tell me which one to choose. And you know what? I hear you. It's a common feeling when dealing with estate planning, but unfortunately, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. Each situation is unique and requires careful consideration. It all depends on your individual circumstances. Your financial situation, family dynamics, and personal preferences all play a role. If you have a smaller estate and a fairly straightforward family situation, a will might be all you need. It's simple and effective. It's a great way to express your final wishes and make sure your loved ones are taken care of. Plus, it's generally easier and less expensive to set up. But if you have a larger estate, a more complex family situation, or you simply want more control and flexibility, then a living trust might be the better option. My advice? Talk to an estate planning attorney. They can provide personalized guidance based on your specific needs. They can help you weigh the pros and cons of each option and figure out which one is right for you. Remember, the right choice is the one that best fits your unique situation and goals. That's all for today, everyone. I hope you found this helpful, even if we did have to talk about, the what-ifs of life. Remember, planning for the future isn't about being morbid. It's about protecting the people you love. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.